Hey there, and thanks a lot for subscribing. Here's the first sample from the VRay webinars pack. One of the most common mistakes in 3D rendering is the color balance. You need to learn how to work with real photos in order to get natural colors and the right exposure to your 3D render. Alright, so next one we have Leonora here, which did a pretty good progress with her image. But something's a little off, and it's really nice that you see here I already corrected it in the forum, but you see how easy it is to see the difference when you start comparing one image to another. So let's just crop this and I'll recap what I actually did a few days ago. And let's open this image aside. And we get our layers. Let's put it this one actually here. And now I'm gonna add color balance. Color balance you can actually fix with VRay physical camera. I have a little trick that I put a sphere, a gray or a white sphere, and I let light cache run through. I take a sample from the color, and this is the basic. I make it a little bit lighter, and this is the basic color that is going to determine my entire color balance of the image. So if I didn't do that, I gotta do it with Photoshop, and as you see here, I'm adding color balance. Now by looking at this image, I can already tell that the wood is much more orange here, and this wood got more kind of reddish tone going on. The sky is a little off, and this is what makes that building not really sit really well in the environment, because the building is very bright in compared to the background. And basically you can't really see that because your brain kind of tricks you. It lets you think that this is the right way, but if you take a look at the images, the background, the skies, they always going to be brighter than the image itself. Especially when you shoot from the inside, you will get like your background overexposed. So basically, generally speaking, in every render you will get sky a little bit more exposed, a little bit lighter than the entire building and the shadows. Alright, so it's just observations, just basic observation. Okay, so I'm always adding some yellowish and some reddish. Whoops. Let me go to this layer and add it to the right one. So I'm gonna add a little bit yellowish and a little bit reddish, so we can see already that my tonalities kind of starts to fall, and the grasses kind of starts to be a little bit more towards kind of natural look. Now we're gonna get to highlights. On the highlights I'm adding a little bit bluish and a little bit reddish, cyan, sorry. So the cyan kind of gives me this nice bluish tone to the building, to the white colors, to the highlights. And now I'm gonna go to the shadows and try to fix just a little bit the shadows. Try not to overdo it. This is very gentle controller, so few points left or right can make a really big drastic change to your image. So from this we go into something that looks a bit more appealing, and we get a little bit better also lighting to the image. Now some of the stuff here got overexposed, and if I'll double click here and I'll click on Alt, let me see that area right here in the middle of the room. So see how overexposed it gets, but after clicking Alt I can kind of reduce the highlights of that area. Or I can take a color, black, stand here, and also reduce that by putting black color, kind of reducing the color balance. All right, so we need to work with this one. We kind of need to work with masks, so we will get oscillation for each element, and the first one will be probably the sky. And let me just try to oscillate the sky here. It's getting pretty well oscillated, so let's just try to fix that. I'm gonna add curves, and let's just see how this guy works. So we can see much better, but still a little bit too purplish. So what we can do is click Control and click on the same layer, so we get back the same selection. And now we do levels, we do color balance, sorry, like that. And a little bit on the highlights, a little bit of a yellowish tone, and the shadows, just like that. Alright, so we went from kind of pinkish to more cyan and bluish, similar to what we have in this guy. And you can see it's pretty easy to compare when you put two of those together, one against each other. And same goes with the vegetation. If I'm going to oscillate, we can see that this one got a little bit better saturation. So what we can do is, if we take, for example, this part right here with the grass, and let's add some hue saturation. We can add a little bit contrast and saturation to it, so we will get our grass more towards whatever we have in our image. Alright, so you can see, pretty easy deal, and let's go ahead and check out the next work. Alright, so you know how to practice with real photos in order to get your eye real good calibrated to start understanding natural colors and real exposure. Thanks a lot for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. See you in the next one.